freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It has to be fought for and defended by each generation.
We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
I'm a conservative.
I was the grassroots guy.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Good morning, GOP. This is Grassroots Strong with Chris Long and
Rusty Richter.
Well, this is episode 2, Rusty.
Episode 2? What happened? How did we get this far?
Last week we had Lance on there. I think it was great.
It was great. We should celebrate. We got all the way to episode 2. You know,
Did you
some
receive
of these
any
people,
hate mail yet?
No hate mail that I know of.
I keep getting attacked all the time.
Yeah. Well, you know, some of these groups, they celebrate their 100th episode. I think we should celebrate our 2nd.
I think so, too. We should go to Mr. Burger.
Yeah, I heard that's your favorite restaurant. Chris, we have a guest here.
We do have a guest. Today we have Russ Jennings from Jackson County GOP.
I really like his name. There's Russ. Rusty and Russ.
It's a Russell thing.
That's a Russell thing. We're both Russell.
Is that your actual real name?
Yes.
Russell?
You see, we have biblical names. Did you know that Russell is in the Bible?
Oh, please do.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Every day I'm rustling.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to try to say was Jackson County is where the Republican Party was started.
Jackson County, Michigan. That's exactly right.
The birthplace of the Republican Party.
Exactly.
Under the Oaks, downtown Jackson.
And
Russ Jennings is the chair of the Jackson County Party.
Yep.
You're also a township
I am a township trustee.
Yeah.
All right.
In a township in Jackson County.
So how did you get involved? Or you okay? First of all, are you establishment or grassroots?
I want to start with this. Thank you for inviting me on your second episode. I had to come up here to Grand Rapids early in the morning.
Yeah.
I listened to your first show. Thought it was awesome. Of course, I'm a big fan of Lance Griffin and 10X Votes. Yeah. So I wouldn't have missed it.
Yeah.
And then you guys reached out and I come up here to do the show here. But I do wonder if Mr. Burger serves breakfast because I'm going to be hungry after this.
They do, baby. They do.
Mr. Burger it is.
Yeah.
We're going to go there and get some breakfast.
That's Chris's favorite restaurant.
We had breakfast there.
What
is it called?
Breakfast 24/7.
I also wanted to say, hello, fellow establishment rhinos.
There you go.
How are you today?
How did we get here? You've been around the Republican Party for a lot of years, huh, Russ?
A dozen, probably.
A dozen. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Well,
you've been in there long enough to be called establishment and rhinos. I think I went from being grassroots with the fight that I had and removing the rhinos into and becoming a delegate last year and instantly becoming an establishment because I said something that the grassroots didn't like, an opinion. I think it's the fastest track that anyone.
It happened faster than it happened to me. I'll tell you that.
It didn't help, Chris.
It definitely happened that it happened to Rusty.
You started hanging around with me, and then that turned you into a establishment rhino. But
okay,
all right.
Russ Jennings,
by the way,
all the way from Jackson. What's that? About an hour and a half?
What's that? You know, I got a driver today. Another Russell in the house.
Oh yeah, 90 minutes. There you go. Hour and a half. Drives up here. He wakes up early. Has to come all the way up here.
Yeah. But we were up at 5 in the morning. Get ready for this.
Welcome to Kent County. We're the birthplace of, or we're the home of Gerald Ford.
Yes, you are. Just last spring I was at the Gerald Ford Museum for the first time. I was had a township, Michigan Township Association meeting downtown Grand Rapids, and we had some downtime and went over and checked that out, and I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah. I've never been there.
Well, Gerald Ford, I got to tell you a story about Gerald Ford. He became a congressman, I believe, 1948. I can't remember if it was 46 or 48. But It was after the war, after World War II, and he defeated the McKay machine.
What is the McKay machine? Because everyone thinks they don't. There's so many people that don't actually know the history, and you need to actually tell them about the McKay Tower.
There's a building in Grand Rapids called McKay Tower, and was owned by Mr. McKay. He was the leader of the party back in the day. And he was, in a word, I'm a bit of a historian, corrupt. And there was a murder back in the 40s of a state senator that was engineered by Mr. McKay. He actually used 2 convicts from Jackson Prison.
Now we know.
Good place to get them.
You know where the prison is,
I
right?
sure do.
He literally provided a car, was able to get these 2 guys out. They went up and shot this guy.
It's like we planned this podcast with you being from Jackson and the story.
True. And the McKay machine was awful. And when we're talking about, all the fighting, the infighting we have in the party, and we don't realize it's been going on.
It's been going
for
on
years.
To different degrees and different levels for a very long time.
So there was a group of people that said we need to take the McKay machine down.
And Ford
was Gerald Ford.
Mm-hmm.
They used Gerald Ford. They got Gerald Ford. Mm-hmm. He ran for Congress. He beat the McKay machine candidate, and the rest is history. I mean,
well, who was that person? Who was the person that said we are going to destroy the corrupt McKay machine?
I know that one of the persons was very instrumental in that was a guy named Peter Secchia.
He's the same guy that was on the former Michigan GOP building, the Peter Secchia and Shostak building.
Weiser and Shostak.
Yeah,
I see.
So Peter Secchia is a former chair of Kent County GOP, and he was an ambassador to Italy under George Herbert Walker Bush. He was state party chair. I mean, he was everything. He was. I knew him. He pointed his finger in my chest many times, and but we want to right away say, oh, these people are bad, but they took down a corrupt.
That literally that killed somebody.
That killed people.
Back then, you don't like a state senator, you just take them out, huh?
You just take them out.
Well, that backfired on
Well, explain the story of how they got how McKay was able to get the convicts from Jackson Prison.
He got the convicts. He knew the warden. He was not the treasurer of Michigan, but he was some kind of a money man for the state of Michigan. Not the treasurer, might have been the comptroller. I'm not sure the title. And he was able, he did the budgets for the prison, everything, called the warden, said, you give me so many guys, they're going to take McKay's car. They drove up to Lansing, waited for the senator to head home, shot him right in the head. I mean, that's a true story. You can look all this up. The point that I'm trying to make, the real point of the story, Chris and Russ, is, politics is messy.
We don't do that
Not
anymore.
for the faint of heart.
It's not for the faint of heart, but politics is also participatory. What about what you did in Goshen?
Oh, well, we got rid of 13 elected officials because they didn't listen to the will of the constituents.
And are
they
you
were
on their
rhinos.
Christmas card list?
We are not, and we don't send them anything.
Yeah.
We removed them completely. We recalled the entire township board.
Some of them probably had to move after that, didn't they?
We definitely ruined their reputation in town. They were pillars of the community for so many years. They've been in office for 30 years, some of them.
And you took them down.
We
and
took them
Goshen
down.
plant never got off the ground.
Never got off the ground because we were relentless.
It did get
talked
cleared.
About
They started.
They started removing the trees, yes, but they never built any buildings. They tore
Chris,
down.
I took the trip all the way up to Goshen a couple of times to participate in some protests.
Yeah.
And with a group of people from Jackson.
Yep.
Jackson's a long ways away, so it wasn't like we could be up there all the time.
Yep.
But a lot of people from around the state put a little bit into that.
Yes, they
now,
did.
Sella told me he was involved.
He was involved with
What's his first name?
Joe.
Joe Sella.
Former Ambassador Joe Sella. From Fiji?
Fiji.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to be an ambassador someplace, wouldn't you want to be Fiji?
Yeah, exactly. No, Joe Sella was involved from the beginning, and Hoekstra was involved before he was chair, while he was chair, and after he was chair. And Karamo also helped us while she was chair. She came and did events. She talked at the Appropriations Committee on our behalf. And so everybody, one of the key strategies that we had with the Goshen fight is we didn't care if you're grassroots establishment, doers or donors, it didn't matter. As long as you're going to fight with us for our mission, we locked arms with you. But the moment you went against us, went against the mission, we iced you out. We made them irrelevant. So I want to tell the story.
Did you ice them out like McKay iced out that senator?
No, we didn't do that.
I had to ask.
So early on,
I do this podcast just to hear you laugh.
I almost didn't drive up because of that laugh.
Yeah, it's the greatest. Sometimes, after 3-4 days, I call Chris. So could you just laugh, please?
Early on in the Goshen fight, they didn't buy the land yet. It was prior to them buying the land.
The Chinese?
The Chinese company was trying to buy the land, and they didn't buy it yet. And so we were at a meeting, and we were talking about fundraising, and we need to pay the lawyer to try to do some injunctions to try to stall. The big strategy was stall, prevent. And that's going to cost money. And so at one of the meetings, our activist group, and we did all the activist stuff outside the county party. We did not use the county party. We had our own PAC. Okay. We had our own monthly group. We did all that. In one of the meetings, we talked about how we had this donor on the line that was going to give $100,000 donation
to your PAC,
to our PAC for our legal fight to prevent them from buying the land. If we would have prevented them from buying the land from the beginning, this would have been a much quicker outcome, shorter. And so when we told them, hey, this donor's going to come up, give us $100,000 donation towards our legal fight. We're going to put on a little check signing ceremony, a little rally for him because this individual was running for higher office and had a lot of money, but he wanted the publicity. And there was a little faction within our group that freaked out and said, you're selling out to the rhinos, the globalists, the establishment, the donors. You're going to sell our movement out and you're going to tell us how to vote, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't care who is going to give us money, but if you're going to give us $100,000 donation, I'm going to get everybody there. We're going to have signs. We're going to put on a big smile. We're going to be clapping and make that person feel like they're the most important person in the room.
That's right.
And we're going to get all the pictures, all the media, everybody there. But we're no one's going to hold your hand in the voting booth just because we put on this rally to try to get the money for our effort.
Chris, I tell people a lot of times it's like a stool. You don't want to sit on a 2 or 3-legged stool.
Right.
You like all 4 legs.
Yeah.
1 is the candidates.
Yep.
2 are the grassroots.
Yep.
3 are the donors.
Yep.
4 are the establishment.
Yeah.
I mean, we need them all.
Yes. Yeah.
To have a good stool.
Correct.
What do you think about that, Russ?
So there's an element of grassroots, if you want to call it that absolutely hate money in politics or in grassroots efforts like Gosha, that I have never been able to wrap my mind around.
Why is that? Why?
And Kevin and I, my driver, by the way, I co-host a podcast once a week in Jackson, Cut Stick the Plant podcast.
He plugged it. It's all good.
And Kevin, my son,
what time is it?
2:00.
2:00
we
today.
do live
every Monday.
We do live every Monday on Rumble, Facebook, and YouTube. But Kevin, my son, who is another Russell.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm so glad he takes after your wife, though. He must because he looks a lot better than you do.
That we'll have to talk off air on that story.
Okay.
I didn't used to be as easy to get along with. I'm on my 3rd wife.
Oh,
so.
That's one way to do it.
But no, Rusty, we've talked about on the way up here. I've talked about it before. There's a certain element that absolutely hates money, in any level of politics. And you know what? I'm not thrilled with it either. Okay, but it's something that has to exist. Yeah. It has to exist. I do not have the solution to remove a huge amount of monies from helping people get elected or a grassroots effort like Gosha. Yeah. It has to exist. And I know you guys have probably all heard, there's a neighbor county to Jackson County. They had like a Lincoln Day dinner, and our former chair, a Michigan billionaire, said, hey, whatever you guys raise on your silent auction, I'll match it. They raised $35,000 on their silent auction. He matched it for 35.
Yep.
An element of that particular GOP demanded that they send the money back.
What?
They refused to send the money back, and that group of people are no longer in leadership at that county's GOP. They started their own thing. Send the $35K back.
Yeah. I went to a group not too long ago, a grassroots group, good people, but somebody got up in the meeting and said, we don't need money. We don't need money. This is about what God's doing or whatever. Now, here's what I say. If we're going to win elections, we've got to get involved in the money. Yeah. I know. Donald Trump in his first campaign also said something like, we don't need money. But in his third
because he could self-fund it all.
Right. But in his third campaign, after that campaign, he says to J.D. Vance, we're going to start mega PAC. Yep. J.D., you go out and raise $1 trillion. $1 billion. And JD, he says, how long do I have? He says, you got 3 years. He raised it in 3 months. JD knows how to raise money.
That sounds familiar. Sounds like a story I just heard around here lately.
No, but I know we don't like the money. I know, it's so awful sometimes. My wife, she would love to just raise our family and do all this without the money.
Sure.
Am I right?
Sure.
And it would be more peaceful. It would be more sweet. All of this.
And I don't think any of us sitting at this table today have the answer to remove the money from life or from politics.
We could spend it better and more wiser.
We sure could.
I know for a fact with our Goshen effort that we strategically used the money. We knew how to place the ads. We knew how to use it wisely. We can take a little bit of money and stretch it far. We can make a penny squeal. Yeah. Okay, but that takes. When you remove the consultant aspect of it that just wastes so much money because they pad all the vendor services with super high
even if
prices.
You don't use the consultants, Chris, it still takes a ton of money.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
That you can't remove.
Correct.
To win in politics.
But you can make it stretch.
Yes.
And I'll go so far as to say you can't even remove all the consultants. Yeah. You still need some. So the proud Jackson County GOP, you've got a awfully nice facility down there, headquarters.
Largest in the state, I think.
I saw it the other day. It's like 80,000 square feet.
It's somewhere between 10 and 12,000 square feet.
You could actually fit like a couple of Mr. Burgers right in there.
Let me tell the story. We thought we're going to open up some sort of Mr. Burger in there, so maybe to help fundraise. So we lucked out. We're one of the few counties, believe it or not. Most counties in the state don't even have an office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jackson County's always had an office location.
Great.
We had a 30 by 30 office location in the large office complex that we're at now. We've been there 15 years.
Okay.
We operated out of our 30 by 30 space, minding our own business and running campaigns through there, getting the job done. And I get a phone call one day from a guy at the time I didn't know. His name was Scott McGraw, and he's the former St. Joe chairman.
Okay, county chairman.
Former Kalamazoo chairman.
Okay.
Been around a long time, definitely establishment. But Trump Force 47 hired him to launch a Trump Force 47 location either in Jackson County or Washtenaw County. So he gives me a call on the phone. Russ, what do you got? I says, ooh, I'll probably be able to help you out here. So I go to the management of the large office complex that our headquarters is in. They like us a lot. They're part of us. They don't like to admit it because they're running a business, but they're part of us. Yep. They root for us. And the Trump Force 47 guy shows up to Jackson, and they take us to the third floor and open the door to this amazing space that I've never seen. Mm-hmm. And Chris will tell you, it's a large office complex.
Massive.
Large
we
office.
Can do state committee
and
meetings
you
in there.
knew this was the right place because when you walked in there was a statue.
There is now.
Of Lincoln.
There is now. There wasn't then. There's a story behind Lincoln, too, and that's a great story I'd love to talk about. I got to
borrow that statue for our Lincoln Day dinner.
Of course. There's a fee to that.
Oh, there's a fee. It's always about money, Chris.
There's a fee to that. So anyways, when I seen that space, I'm like, Jackson County, like many counties, we struggle with not only financial resources, human resources all in general. And in the back of my mind, I knew if Trump Force 47 landed in Jackson, it'd help us be relevant in elections.
Right.
Make us something to do. We had no money to give even to our local candidates. So I knew this was, and I worked it hard. But I think that space is what sold it. I get a phone call. Hey, we're coming to Jackson. So they moved to the third floor, Trump Force 47. We said, hey, can we join you through the campaign? So we retained our 30 by 30 spot in that building, but we moved upstairs to hang out with Trump Force 47. Right.
Now you're a hub.
Now we're working all together, and Jackson produced some of the top door knockers in the state. Some of that I have an 84-year-old that was one of the top phone callers in the state. And we rocked it out. Now, that great day in November of 2024 when Trump won, we all remember that day.
Yes.
It was great. 2 weeks after that, Trump Force 47 had to leave.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, we don't want to leave this space and go back to that 30 by 30 space. Why would we? So I knew it wasn't going to work. I didn't think it was going to work. I go to the office building and say, listen, guys, that space was empty for 4 years. All right. I know we can't pay what Trump Force was paying, but could you throw me a number? Let me see if I can shake it out. I said, Russ, you can't afford it. I walked away. 2 weeks, we went back down to our 30 by 30 space. The management come to us, know what we got thinking, and gave us a monthly price. It's way cheaper than the space is valued. Office space is hard to rent these days, ever since COVID. Yes. I said, you know what? We still can't afford it, but if you allow us to sublease a little bit, I think we can swing it. They said, that's fine as long as your impact on the building is minimal. So they don't want 50 employees, 25 employees. So we were able to rent to a small supplement to insurance company. And we have the Mike Rogers campaign. I save space behind for either a political organization or a campaign. And we were able to land the Mike Rogers campaign. Now to that.
I want to talk about that because there was a vote in your county recently because you wanted to rent the space to Mike Rogers. And tell us what happened. Now, you would be able to get money from the Mike Rogers campaign for how much?
What I only hit them at $900 a month.
Okay. So that's paying part of your mortgage, essentially. So your rent for your building, helping your county party, saving you guys money, utilizing the space. What happened?
All right. First of all, it's more than the $900 a month. It's the resources that major campaign is going to provide for a small, limited and resource county party like Jackson. It's bigger than the $900 a month.
You got volunteers coming in. You got all kinds of things. They will
recruit them. Matter of fact, Trump Force 47, we were able to put 5 or 7 new executive committee members onto our executive committee that were recruited through Trump Force 47. So I imagine we should be able to do things.
How many is your executive committee? How many?
40, 20 aside.
Holy.
20 aside.
20 aside. So there's 20 elected.
Okay. 20 elected and 20 public members.
20 statutories, right?
Right.
But anyways, this is what happened, Chris. Back in May, I have a great working relationships with Americans for Prosperity.
Yep.
Okay, AFP.
AFP.
They're great.
Matter of fact, the state director of AFP lives in Jackson County. He ran for state senate and lost. He's on our executive committee.
Okay.
He doesn't participate much. He's busy. Tim Golding.
Okay.
Okay. Another great resource for county parties is AFP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great resource.
Absolutely.
You're having a Lincoln Day dinner. Oh, they'll throw money. They love to feed people.
Yes, they do.
And I have a small group, and it's the same group that are never Mike Rogers under any circumstances. It's the exact same group. We don't like AFP.
What?
The Koch brothers that started it, they weren't Trump fans or something. I don't really know why, Chris. Doesn't matter. So we had an argument back in May about Americans for Prosperity partnering with us for us to make phone calls, knock doors, do whatever for them. And it was a heated May meeting. And a motion was ultimately made for the officers, the 4 officers, to make decisions pertaining to anything that happens in that headquarters. Because I kept telling them, I don't have time to wait every month for us to make decisions.
Have a meeting. Yeah.
I have a background in sales. Sometimes I need to react in the best interest of the party.
You were elected as a chairman. That's your job.
A motion was made by a county commissioner, and it was passed unanimously for the 4 of us to make all decisions concerning the headquarters. Well, 3 of us are always in agreement, and one of them's not. One of them's part of that group.
Always got to be contrarian.
That worked out nice for us. Anything we want, we get, me and the other 3 officers. And then Mike Rogers' offer came. All right. They come to me first. We make a deal. And the officers make the decision to allow Mike Rogers to run office through the campaign. Unanimously, the 4 officers. Well, that group didn't like that. At our last meeting, they came and they ran a motion to amend the May motion that all decisions for that headquarters would go through the executive committee. It lost 15-6. Wow. 15-6. So I'm going to be polite here. That usually tells me you need to shut the
Yep.
Right. Because I sold it on this. Just like I said earlier, it's more than the $900, guys. I've already talked to the Rogers campaign. They're going to allow us, while we're knocking doors for Mike Rogers, to distribute our voter guide. That's going to have our state reps on it. That's going to have city council on it. That's going to have school board. That's going to have, the list goes on and on.
And we could use the resources.
And they're like, yeah, we hope that you help other Republicans win while you're knocking doors using their resources.
Are you renting to him now?
They move in mid-January.
And so is this other group or these people that are fickle, whatever you want to call them, is this because they support a different candidate in the primary?
So they had not until recently. They were just, the first time around with Mike Rogers, never Mike Rogers in under any circumstance. They probably did support Dr. Sherry O'Donnell, who I love, actually. I love Sherry O'Donnell. I knew realistically who was going to be the candidate.
Right.
But this time around, there was a mystery. They didn't like one of the candidates that just recently announced, and they weren't aware of the one that announced on the island, Genevieve. Mm-hmm. They weren't even aware of her till 2 weeks ago, and she showed up at our Christmas party. And now that group are all about Genevieve. You know what? I applaud them for that. Thank God you got a candidate to put your time, your resources, and energy into, because I'm a fight like hell for your candidate in the primary and in the general. If you're going to especially belong to a GOP, you come around, you support the nominee.
So Jackson County, is that, did Trump win Jackson County?
So we are a red county.
Okay.
The city's a problem.
The city, just like many cities, is a blue city.
Yeah.
There's 30,000 residents in the city, and countywide there's 160,000.
Okay.
We are a red county, though.
So your out county can vote over the city and get
used to be better.
Republican.
You talked about on your guys' last week's show about the good old days.
Yeah.
Before redistricting in 22, we had it locked up. We had the Senate seat the whole
Well,
covered the
this
whole county.
redistricting committee that we've got now is
had
atrocious.
Two state reps that were both Republicans. Now it's broke up into 3. We are partially represented by a Democrat, which we found a candidate to run against her. We're happy about that. Everybody, so-called grassroots and establishment, has circled around. Has so far circled around.
Who are your 2 Republican reps?
Kathy Schmaltz.
Yeah.
And Sarah Leitner, who is the chair of the Judicial Committee.
Yep. Right. Know both.
We're closest with Kathy Schmaltz.
Okay.
And in your guys' last show, you talked about Jim DeSanta.
Oh, yeah.
He's awesome.
Now, is he in your county?
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's Monroe. So Jim was in a tough seat, and Jim, with his conservative principles, worked those conservative principles and won that seat twice now. Okay. Kathy Schmaltz is in a +2 Dem seat.
Yeah.
She's won that twice now.
Wow. Good for her.
But as a moderate. And I really think if Jim DeSanta, who I appreciate and respect dearly, I think if he was running in that particular seat, I don't think he'd win.
Yeah, well, that's the point.
Some are different.
That's the point. You've got to know the district.
We do.
Every district is a little different.
I constantly tell people, because they always think that I'm saying we need to have moderates, and I've never once said that. I want the most conservative, constitutional, Christian representative elected in every office, in every district. But the caveat to that is it depends on the demographics of that district. The most person that could be electable in that area. So for example, I had this argument a lot recently is, look, we like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, great. She's on one side. But she's in an R+19 district. Yeah. And I said to these people, quite a few, and everyone gives me the same answer. I said, can she win in any district in Michigan? And they say, yeah, she could win in any district. This idea that let's go for the reason why we're losing elections.
You might be able to win in the 5th.
Maybe. Okay, but you're an R+12?
I don't know what it is.
It's an R+12. The highest district we have is an R+16, which is District 9.
Tim Wahlberg.
But the thing is she's an R+19. The highest district we have is R+16, which is District 9, possibly. But I said, okay, could she win in District 4? And I said, I'm thinking, no, there's no way she could win in District 4. And they're like, yeah, she could win in that. It's like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
With Kalamazoo?
Yeah. They think that's possible. They think that the reason we're losing elections is our candidates are not far enough. So let's run all farther right.
I so disagree.
Look what happened here in the 3rd.
Yes. You ran John Gibbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But now we have a Democrat in there.
Now we have a Democrat. And the Democrats worked for John Gibbs.
Let's resurrect Peter Meyer. Oop, I'm going to get attacked for saying that.
Kathy Schmaltz, that's a great example of a House district. Her voting record when the House was in a minority even had my stomach turn a little bit. She plays the little bit of like Matt Hall. Everybody's mad at Matt Hall until he became the House Speaker.
He's done a pretty good job lately.
They start voting different when they're in the majority.
Yeah.
You take someone like Jim DeSanta. He didn't play into that game. Right. When they were in that minority, he was still Jim DeSanta.
Yes.
And I do totally respect that.
Yes.
But I understand why a state House rep like Kathy Schmaltz and so many others did what they did. They were trying to manage a tough situation.
Hall is doing a good job.
I like Matt.
Matt's doing a great job.
He's doing a very good job right now.
Of herding the cats.
Yes.
But I've known Matt for a long time. And I'm pleasantly surprised at how effective he's been. He's really been quite effective given the role that he has.
Could you imagine if we had the Senate?
Of course. And this is why, though, we flipped the state house, the only house
in the nation.
Legislature that flipped in the nation.
Yeah.
Now been great if we
did that take any money?
Yeah, that took a little bit of money.
Oh.
That took a little bit of money.
We can't do that for free?
No, we can't do that for free. But, we won by, we got a 4-seat majority, I believe it is. It'd be great to have a 12-seat majority, and we've got to defend this majority. Russ, what's your thought on the governor's race? We got this independent running.
As a county chair, I shouldn't say this, but I did it early. I'm a Tom Leonard guy.
Okay.
But I like all our top tier candidates, if that's the way to put it. I know Eric Nesbitt relatively well. Jackson County is an Eric Nesbitt type county.
Yep.
He's got a relationship.
Farmer.
Has a relationship that goes back to 2012 as Congressman Wahlberg's political director.
Right.
Oh.
So, we're Nesbitt County.
I've known Tom since he was in his 20s.
In Tom, something just hit me. I like Tom Leonard a lot.
I think Tom Leonard is one of the more thoughtful candidates. What I mean by that, he's thinking through he's thinking through his policies. They're very thoughtful.
He does have a plan written down.
The approach he takes is very thoughtful. You got Mike Cox.
He documents that. And then recently I've been eyeing Mike Cox.
I've known Mike for a long time.
Don't underestimate Mike Cox in this whole game at all. He's
got a good team behind him.
He is. I've eaten dinner with him twice. It's not like, hey, Russ, let's meet for dinner. I just happened to be at an event. I've been at his table twice.
Was it at Mr. Burger?
No. Ralph Rebrandt, of all people. I've happened to got to know Ralph a little bit. He's not like my type of candidate.
Oh, we missed one. John James.
Who's that guy?
I don't know.
So
his poll numbers look good.
He's going to be the nominee. He's going to be the nominee, guys. He's going to be the nominee.
He will be the nominee if everybody can't unify behind one of the other candidates.
All right.
He does.
John James has a ceiling.
Listen to me. John James answers my phone call. They all do.
John is the only one that doesn't for me.
John James is the only candidate that has never spoken to me.
He'll talk to me.
Well, that's good for you.
So
you are the establishment, so what do you expect?
That's right.
That's right.
That's why that happens.
All right, guys, I'm not
I got to laugh, and I didn't even say Mr. Burger.
No.
Mr. Burger, I mean John James.
Yeah, John James is an interesting candidate. I think the president's a little bit confused here.
It's tearing him up, isn't it?
Yeah.
But John James may be the one.
Do you believe the polls?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
I don't.
In that, I think he's the one that has probably. I hate to say it. Gosh, I hope Tom Leonard don't hear this. He's probably the one that can beat the Democrats. John James.
I wonder. I wonder. Here's a. This might be a podcast clip, but I wonder is Tom Leonard running for lieutenant governor?
I have a feeling not.
I don't know. That's a good question, I guess.
And then we didn't talk about Mike Duggan.
Who's that guy?
Democrat Duggan.
So do you? I think
Democrat Duggan, but the donors, the Republican donors, are flocking to him.
Yeah, your people.
Yeah, that big money.
Now all of a sudden they're my people.
I think he's going to take Democrat votes.
When the grassroots flocks to Gibbs, they're your people, Chris.
Is that how that worked?
The name of this podcast isn't Establishment Strong. It's Grassroots Strong, baby.
Guys,
we are all
Russ.
I don't know.
Russ Jennings is in the studio thinking, "What am I? Am I in here between a fight?"
If I come back up in 90 days, you better have some takeout Mr. Burger available.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. That should be our food of the podcast.
If he's the real host, we're in trouble here.
We got Duggan, though. We got Duggan. He's running. I think he's going to lose steam in August.
So
that's what
it's funny. Yeah. In rural 5th District, that I know the best.
Yeah.
Most is rural. You be driving along US 12 in the middle of Hillsdale, and you'll see a Mike Duggan billboard.
Really?
He's got billboards everywhere. I don't know why our candidates have not put out any billboards anywhere.
Maybe it's money.
Because he's got money.
Yeah, so do our candidates. Have you not read the campaign finance? They have plenty of money, but they're saving the money to the last minute.
Has the most money?
Mike Cox.
No.
Oh, that's right. He does.
He doesn't.
He does.
John James.
No, that's a pledge.
That's a what?
A pledge.
Oh,
there's only pledges. He has like
so
this.
It's Mike Cox has the most.
Mike Cox has the most. It's like 4 million.
I think Tom Leonard has the least.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the other two.
Okay.
Well, yeah, there's, I forgot.
I think it goes Mike
I'm
Cox.
talking top tier candidates.
I get it. If that's what we want to explain them as.
Yeah, I just think,
Yeah.
you know, I met Ralph Rebrandt and the realtor, what's her name?
Carla.
My
My friend Carla Wagner.
Yeah. They're good people.
She really hates both of us.
She does not like me very well at all.
Which, okay, here's a good
Well, she
thing.
won't talk to me,
I want to
so-
tell this story. So,
But she's a nothing.
back in May, do you remember how I came out strong in support of Axe My Tax?
Sure.
And the reason I did
remember.
was because I wanted to use it as a get out and vote effort
Yep.
for the low propensity.
Wedge.
Yeah,
A wedge
And I
issue.
get your thought process to that.
Exactly.
I do.
And how many times, Russ, did I call you or others?
That's
and
how
have
we
you-
got to know one another, Chris.
Exactly. Constantly, I was calling you, hey, could you stop attacking the Axe My Tax? Could you just shut up for a little while
Yeah.
and not bash it and just allow us to do it? Because it was part of my strategy for get out and vote in 26. I wanted it on the ballot.
And I
didn't
understood
care
that.
if it
I
passed
understood
or
that.
it failed.
Between what you said and a state senator that I really like a lot, he asked me back down, and I did.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Because I understood where you're coming from. I understood what that state senator was trying to tell me.
But after the Mackinac conference, when it became the reality hit that, okay, they're not going to get the numbers. That's when somehow you and I got tied together that we're in the same boat. When the reality is we were on opposite spectrums, and I was calling you behind the scenes, telling you and asking you, pleading
Well,
with
there
you.
was a conversation at one point between you, I, Deb Drick, and I think Randy Guppy and
Randy Guppy was not on that call with me.
Sorry to bring that up, but there was a point there that something happened, you know, that changed the directory, and then even then I was being silent, and then out of the blue she come at me, or her people did, and I had to break the deal that I had with the state senator, and I went out and said, okay, you want to play this game, and I did for a while. Then I backed off, didn't I, Kevin? Got other things to do. I don't want. All right, the first time with Axe My Tax, first time around, the serious Axe My Tax people in Jackson County, I did not see at all knocking a door for Trump or any other candidates.
I saw the same thing.
They were busy with Axe My Tax, and I don't want that again. We need as much as we can for a citizens initiative with no money. Rusty, you'll agree with me probably. If you have a citizens initiative, whether you like the rules or not, if you don't come at us with a couple $1 million to put that across the finish line, you're wasting everybody's time.
Or you have a very strong organized
And
team.
I've never seen it yet.
No, because it's not.
Well,
they
I've
don't
seen
spend
both.
3 years planning.
I've seen money and strategy, like Citizens Only Vote.
Yep, that is very well put together.
Very well put together. But I don't want.
But they got money.
They got money, yeah.
They do.
And they got a
They're
plan.
well funded.
They got a plan. An
I
organization.
don't want.
They got money and they got staff.
I don't want to
because
ask
they
my
have
tax
money.
people whether I can get them as volunteers or not. I don't want them distracted in 2026.
Those people are great, and I've made it very clear. Anytime I've now changed my tone on Axe My Tax, I love the volunteers.
That's a passionate bunch.
They are
very
passionate.
passionate.
They are
Passionate bunch.
hardworking individuals.
I totally respect
The
their passion.
problem is their leadership at the top of that organization has caused them to fail
I'll
because
tell
they're
you
not
why.
organized.
Because generally the grassroots, because that's what they are.
Yeah.
They're really much more grassroots. They lack leadership.
Yes.
They don't have leaders. They have managers.
Yeah, and I get attacked when I was trying to help lead the grassroots and give them a sense of direction. I get attacked because I'm not rah grassroots. Anything the grassroots says. That's not in the
And
description
what
of my
faction
job.
of grassroots should a person like you be at? There's so many
I work
factions.
with everyone.
Again, I love the
I get it.
grassroots. We need the grassroots.
Absolutely.
We need them. We cannot win without them, but we have to provide leadership.
Absolutely.
We have to provide vision.
Exactly.
We can't be managers.
Correct.
Managers are not what we need.
Correct. 100%. What is my role as grassroots vice chair? As you are a delegate, you're a county chair. What is the job of the grassroots vice chairman? Because there's a lot of people that think it's something else. So I want to see what you think it is.
I'm going to say organize.
Rusty?
I think you need to...
per the bylaws, what is the job duty?
I've read them. I forget.
I think you need to build an apparatus for the grassroots to get involved in the party.
So the grassroots vice chairman's role is 4 things. Supervise and lead all efforts related to volunteer recruitment, voter registration, get out and vote efforts, and precinct delegate recruitment. That's the duty of the grassroots.
Because the grassroots in the old days was and is the PDs.
Yes.
The precinct delegates.
And the get out and vote effort.
Well, that's right. But when we were precinct delegates, that's what you did first. I want to get involved in the party. We became precinct delegates.
Yep.
When you were a precinct delegate, you knew that you had to know your precinct.
Yes.
You knew every house in your precinct.
Now they don't.
Not today they don't.
Correct.
And you walked around with grocery bags, literature. We knew what door to go to. This was back in the days when we didn't have Sidekick and we didn't have cell phones and we didn't have this kind of stuff, but you knew your precinct.
Exactly.
And they knew you. And they knew you. They knew where you lived. They came over and said, what's going on with the Republican? You were the chair of that little precinct.
Yep. And you were the go-to person.
You were the go-to person, and today we don't have that.
No, because everyone acts. You know how many delegates think that the delegate is a public office?
Oh, I've been down that road.
I was elected by my constituents.
Why haven't I been sworn in?
When the precinct delegates came in a few years ago at that county convention in Kent County 3 years ago when I ran against Wallinga, they would come in the door and they'd say, "Yeah, I'm here to vote for Wallinga."
They came in with a mission.
They didn't even know the guy, but this is nothing against Wallinga. This is just to say the precinct delegates today are a mass people that you get told what to do and you do it.
Can we talk about
by their little leader? Yeah.
By their little manager.
Yeah.
I have a thought.
Yep.
And I used to hold it in, and I haven't for the last year. I think the Michigan GOP and the county GOPs have wasted a lot of time and resources recruiting precinct delegates.
Agreed.
And before you chop my head off, and everybody out there, what are you talking about? I learned with Trump Force 47, you just want volunteers in the door.
Yes.
If you approach people on the street with this whole precinct delegate thing, you got to fill out an affidavit of identity. Now, each and every one of us sitting at this table know an affidavit of identity is pretty easy to fill out, but you scare people. And then you got to take the time and run down and take it to the county clerk and all this stuff. So my suggestion is to recruit volunteers. Find out what they're passionate about. Send them out as volunteers. As they're volunteers, and I've seen this happen. That's how we recruited 7 from Trump Force 47 to be part of the Jackson GOP. Then we circled around a couple months later and talked to them about being precinct delegates. Guess what? Some of my best volunteers still are not precinct delegates, don't care to be precinct delegates, and they're always there volunteering.
When we did the Goshen fight, we did not grow the party. We grew the volunteers.
Don't scare them with affidavits of identity and county clerks and all that stuff.
What happens is these people, it seems to be certain people that want little fiefdoms, go around and recruit bodies. They did this in 2020, 2021, and 2022 with the Michigan Precinct First. I'm going to receive a bunch of hate mail for bringing this up. But they recruit bodies. They exploit the people's passion that there is something wrong. They tell them who the enemy is. The enemy is the establishment. The whole reason why we lost 2020 was anyone who existed prior in the party. They created this enemy. They came in with a singular mission to take those people out and take over the party. But the thing is this has been going on for how many years, Rusty? If you go back every 50 to 20 years, it happens with the Tea Party people. Anybody who came in prior to the Tea Party people were deemed the bad people, needed to be purged. You go back another 15 years, what happened? The Pat Robertson delegate.
Pat Robertson people.
They came in and did the same thing.
I'm going to tell you, I might not get the hate mail that you're going to get.
Okay.
Because I still like the precinct delegate.
I absolutely love the
I don't
precinct delegate.
mind.
What are you?
I don't get
You're going to frame this as me dating the? No.
Well, if this hate mail coming, I wanted to go to you.
You're used to it, Chris. You're used to it,
I am
Chris.
used to it.
Yeah.
I've dealt with the hate mail for 3 years with
You've
the
been
Goshen
disliked
fight.
your whole life. I can tell.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm not.
You
used
eat
to it.
alone at Mr. Burger, don't you?
I do.
But see, the thing is, Russ, I hear what you're saying. I think volunteers are important. But I still think an affidavit of identity shouldn't scare people.
And it does, though.
I know it does, but we've got to.
Rusty,
we've got
I assume you live in a Republican voting neighborhood.
Yeah.
I do, too.
Yeah.
I live on a 900-acre lake in Jackson County.
Yeah.
And every one of my neighbors are Republicans.
Right. But you go into Grand Rapids or into the other. I live in.
But my point is some of them will show up because they're passionate about one little thing to volunteer.
They're activists.
You will scare them. I've scared them in the past with
I hear you.
becoming a precinct delegate.
I hear you, and I think we need volunteers.
But we also, a guy like me, probably a guy like you and Chris, my Republican voting neighbors are like, we ain't got to worry about Russ has got that.
Yeah.
You do create your own monster.
Yeah, right.
You do create your own monster.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with the precinct delegate concept. I owned a bar.
We need delegate education and responsibilities defined.
That's true. I owned a bar in Jackson, Michigan. And an active member of the Jackson GOP came in for lunch often. And I was always involved in politics. I've always been a Republican, but I wasn't active. He goes, so it worked on me. Hey, Russ, you ever think about being a precinct delegate? And I'm like, what the hell's that? Never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
You know how he got me? You can get on the ballot. But that doesn't always work with people. I'm like, I get on the ballot? He explained it. All right, I filled out the paperwork. I'm on there. Next thing you know, there's no competition for precinct delegates in Jackson County. You just walk right in.
Yeah.
Like many counties, or most, or all.
Yes.
And then, okay, I was elected precinct delegate. I didn't even know Jackson had a county GOP. I didn't know counties had GOPs.
Yeah.
I kind of knew of the Michigan GOP.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, here's our convention. Why don't you come to the convention? And he baited me saying, I think you might be able to get on our executive committee. Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I didn't make it. But what I did is I didn't go away. I just kept coming. I just kept showing up. Many people get discouraged, walked away because of a person like that saying you might get on the executive committee.
You got to rush. You got to have a 20-year plan.
Yes.
You know, I know a lot of people don't. But
No,
if you're
we don't.
recruiting people and doing the things that you have to do as a grassroots vice chair,
Gosh, this
Chris,
is spoken on 5.
you really need to tell people have a 20. When I got involved in the party, I had a 20-year plan. That was 50 years ago. You know, I remember being somewhat
There's a
opposed.
good possibility in 20 years you and I ain't going to be around
exactly.
anymore.
No, exactly. I'm not. You're right. I'm in my swan song. But
It'll be up to Chris. Oh, we're in trouble.
That's why I'm trying to knock some sense into him. But you know, it's amazing how many people have come to me since October when I took over this and said, Rusty, wow, I see why we do these things now.
Yes.
My officers are sitting around the table going, well, I didn't know that's why we do it. Oh, this makes sense now.
We do a budget this way.
You know, and we've got different things that we can do to change. So listen, Russ.
Yes.
Awesome to have you here.
Yes.
Man, you've been awesome.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Last week's show, today's show, Grassroots Establishment. Okay.
Unity.
I remember I was part of a grassroots effort that took over the county party.
Yeah.
Back in 22.
Yeah.
And then at what point did I become, in many eyes, as that establishment? Was it because I support Mike Rogers? Was it because I was elected to my township board? Was it because I'm now a second-term chair? At what point, all of a sudden, am I no longer grassroots? When I feel that I am still grassroots.
Every establishment person that I know in the party was at one time grassroots.
One more thing.
That's like saying, how again, I'm not trying to belittle the grassroots. That's not at all what I'm.
You better not be.
And I'm not. I consider myself grassroots.
Yep.
In the grassroots movement, there is many facets.
Yes.
This group that I
diamond. You talked about
this
the
group
diamond.
that I went to, the little Christmas party. You were there with me,
Yep.
Chris.
Yep.
It's church based. From that, you can go to another grassroots party and it's going to be libertarian based, whatever. You go to another grassroots group. They're small business people that are trying to find their way in the party.
Yep.
The Tea Party people were sick of paying taxes.
Yep.
And so every grassroots person eventually becomes establishment. It just is inherent.
It is part of the cycle. I mean, there's this large grassroots movement to recruit delegates every 50 to 20 years. It goes all the way back.
Yeah.
But when that happens, the big surge happens, and then it's about a 5-year period after that where the people that came in are either absorbed by the machine, okay, or they get burnt out and they drop away, no longer involved, because then they realize that...
Here's what I think, though, Chris. I think sometimes people in the grassroots movement confuse...
Activism?
They confuse the word conservative.
Well, that's true.
I'm conservative, therefore I'm grassroots. I'm one of the most conservative members of the establishment that I know of.
Yeah.
I homeschooled my kids.
How many?
All 6 kids, and then 26 grandchildren, all being homeschooled by my kids now. I mean,
that's remarkable.
I kept my business open during COVID, got 4 fines from the state of Michigan. I didn't go public with it. I was busy running my business, but I had 4 fines. Hired, David Coleman to be my attorney and got rid of all the fine. I mean, you just by the fact of hiring Coleman proves him conservative.
Maybe it's a money thing. Once you have okay, well then all right. That's
By the way, the Ask My Tax person, through me, Randy Guppy, or me, Kevin Rinke, and someone else in it.
They said that I was voting for Kevin Rinke. It's like, what?
Well, no, that I was in the billionaire class.
Oh,
and that's why I'm against the elimination of property tax. I'm like, well, how did I get lumped in with Kevin Rinke of all people?
Yeah, right.
And I made it clear on my podcast, between me and my wife, we make $75,000 a year. I am the middle class person here, so it's not money. But then again, they might get that impression. You're the chairman of the party, you must have money. Because maybe that's the way that was done in the past.
I received phone calls. People thought I was making money as a vice chair. It's a volunteer role.
Oh my God, I'm out of pocket.
Wait,
I spent close to $15,000 in the last year of my own money.
I'm not getting paid as Kent GOP chair.
Are you?
No.
Okay.
I got one more good analogy. The Jackson County Board of Commissioners is 9 commissioners.
Okay.
7 of them Republican.
Yeah.
2 of them are very, in my opinion, they would disagree with me, bigger government type Republicans.
Yep.
I'm always wanting them. I'm mad at that one. And one's a former state rep, worked for Engler and the MEDC or one of the organizations. And I often don't like his voting record. Okay?
They replace him.
You can't replace him. It's a machine.
Well, if he worked for the MEDC, he's corrupt.
Here's my point. Here's my point. When people complain about those 2 particular county commissioners on their routine votes, I think, how did they vote when there was a Second Amendment resolution? All 7 of them supported that Second Amendment resolution. Okay. I'm going to make it even better. How did they vote when Jackson County Board of Commissioners decided to not enforce any COVID rules? All 7 of them Republicans on that Board of Commissioners voted to support that. We were one of those counties where we're at. My point is they are Republicans. And when push comes to shove, they will have your back on the important issues.
It's the fringe issues that everyone always makes decisions on. That becomes a problem.
Often too much. We got to stop dealing with that. There is going to be fringe issues. I'm going to disagree with a lot of people on those fringe issues. But if it's the same thing with religion.
There ain't a Republican out there that I totally agree with 100%. Jim DeSanta, Steve Carra, love those guys. My point is I'm not always in agreement with any of them. Kathy Schmaltz, Sarah Leitner, on and on. They're still on my team.
Yeah.
They're still on my team, damn it. And we need to keep them on our team, and we need to build the team.
We're going to have to get to where we're all ready to go, and back whoever wins the primary.
Yes.
We have to do it.
We have to unify.
We have to do it.
Rusty, I am there. I am that guy.
We have to do it. We have to gear everybody up for it.
I've done it more than once.
I know that strategy is different because people say, well, we should pick in the primary. I like to see these guys battle it out.
We get to know them.
Find out who. That's how we know them.
You get to know them.
That's how we know them. And there's all kinds of things that these guys can do if they don't win their race in the party and in other positions.
Out of all 5 governor candidates, I don't care which one wins the primary, I'm going to support. And 2 of them, I'm not too thrilled about, but I would still support them. But
If Anthony Hudson wins the primary, I will be voting for him.
That's my point too.
Yep.
Although one of those candidates
if Hudson wins the primary, I will eat my hat.
I will too. I'll eat your hat, Rusty. But
you're going to vote for him, though, aren't you?
In the general, I will.
Yeah.
If he wins the primary, you heard me. I will support anybody in the general that has an R behind their name.
Okay. Bingo.
I'm there. That doesn't mean all those candidates are saying the same thing.
Right. They're not.
Well, thank you.
Yep. No,
Russ,
thank you
great to have you.
There's never enough time to talk about everything, guys. I learned that on my podcast. We do an hour and a half. There is not enough time.
This is our longest show yet.
I'll tell you Lincoln's story.
Oh,
the Lincoln story.
Have you ever seen that?
Lincoln belonged to the Jackson GOP probably when I was a little kid. Okay. Somehow the roof leaked at our old office.
And Lincoln got destroyed?
He was in bad shape, and someone from the Jackson GOP threw him out.
Oh, you're kidding.
Threw him out.
What?
Check this out. The lead maintenance guy at the office complex where our headquarters is, he's 80-some years old. He still works there.
He fixed him up.
He found him and fixed him up. And for decades, it sat in the conference room of our office complex. We thought it was theirs. They never said anything.
Oh, sure.
It sat there beautiful, right? When we had our ribbon cutting for our new office space, they told us the story and gave him back to us.
Wow. Well, go get him. Go get him.
That's awesome.
Well, great to have you here, Russ
Rusty,
Jennings.
I'm glad to get to know you a little bit better.
We're both chairs of counties.
I was told that I was supposed to like Rusty. I said, I think I can like that guy.
Yeah,
I don't like him much.
Yeah. Everybody thinks I'm new on the scene, but I've been around and in the background for so long. Yeah. But I finally retired from my business, sold it to my kids, and
I will say,
I'm able to get out here.
Doesn't retirement help as a county chair? I was still working when I was first county chair. I was always running behind. Now that I'm retired, you can go through routinely, but if you're retired, you can put what you need into it. Yeah. Matter of fact, the work never ends. But it is nice when you run into retired county chairs, you can put the effort into it that you always wanted.
Russ, again, thanks. I appreciate you coming up here. Always great to get to know fellow.
I'm hungry, Mr. Burger. It is.
I think we have to go get him, Mr. Burger. But I'll leave you with this.
We're signing off here, Chris, aren't we?
Here in Michigan, we are all grassroots. In 26,
that's right.
We need to all stand together. We need to grow together, and we need to move forward and take back Michigan.
Because we're grassroots strong.
Exactly.